Okay, here we go. Day 2. I'm going to be trying this foundation with a beauty sponge as opposed to a brush. See if it works better for me. I have to do this quick because I got to get to work. So, 1 pump on my hand. I'll smush it into my sponge. And then... Now I did my skincare exactly the same as I did it yesterday. So that gives a way lighter coverage. You can see this is the side without, this is the side with. The sponge obviously soaks up some of the product. So I'm gonna do the other side of my face and then I'm gonna build it up a little bit. Oh, that worked better. Okay. I'm mostly doing this to see if it sits better in my textured areas right here and on my nose. So we'll see how it does with that. I'm going to do 1 more pump. I'm just going to immediately pick it up with the sponge. Just because I don't want to put it directly on the sponge. There we go. And I'll build it up a bit. Maybe that was too much. Oops. Oh well. I will go in with the other side of the sponge to try and fix that. Okay. It seemed to layer okay on itself, at least when using the sponge. Okay. It looks pretty good to me. Here's how it looks with the sponge. Looking okay on my nose so far. But we'll see what the day brings. Wow. Look at that. The sunlight really does do something to you, doesn't it? Ah, Mr. Sun. I'm literally glowing. I'm so pale. I'm gonna be wearing this on my face all day while I'm at work, which I have to leave for right about now. It's just before 8:30, 8:27 to be exact, in the AM, and I'll report back in a few hours. And here it is, folks. The end of day 2 of this review wear test thing. First, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to get super close to the camera so you can see exactly what's going on. There you go. I got a super bright ring light just for you so you get everything in its super bright glory. There's my forehead, cheeks, and schnoz. Now, I will say that this foundation did wear better having been applied with a sponge, especially on my nose. It seems to be looking a lot better on my nose. It has throughout the day. I forgot to tell you what time it was. It is 9 o'clock p.m., so this has been on my face for almost 13 hours. It's a long time. Yesterday it was it 10 hours? Something like that. And today it's been almost 13, like 12 and a half. If you hear dog noises, that's why. My concerns yesterday were the wearability, how it seemed to look on my face after a few hours. The makeup looking kind of patchy, looking weirdly dry, and on my nose it looked particularly not great. So when applied with the sponge, it seems to have fared better on my nose in particular. However, it still doesn't look great. My nose looks a lot better than it did yesterday, but you can still, let me bring you in super close. It still doesn't look great. And it might be hard to tell because of the ring light and because light's just like reflecting off my skin. It actually looks it looks nice and luminous right now, but in different lighting it actually doesn't look that great. It heavily depends on the light. It very much depends on the light. The makeup looks weird. It's not doing the texture around here any favors at all. Over time, I have actually noticed it kind of, I don't know if you could call it settling, but it has definitely been drawing more attention to my fine lines and wrinkles. Like these ones up here. They are loud and proud right now. The ones under my eyes, I had to pat those out once, and then after that, it seemed to be fine. But my smile lines, I'll come closer, see if we can get a good shot of this. There you go. Right here. And obviously this, like the larger pores and just the skin, the difference in skin texture here and here, very obvious with this foundation. Another thing that I have noticed is that it doesn't adhere super well to my skin. Like my nose looked fairly oily earlier, so I patted it like this. And with a lot of other foundations, the oil will come off on my finger, but the foundation will stay. That does not happen with this. I don't know if you can see that, but the foundation comes off. It comes off pretty easily, and then it looks patchier and patchier and patchier every time you touch your face. I don't know. It didn't wow me. I had high hopes for this because there were so many people online, on TikTok in particular, that I noticed, who had such great things to say about it. I mean, it's still clearly very much on my face. It hasn't turned into a greasy mess. It didn't make me look like a raisin, but it did not wear nearly as elegantly as I expected. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Let's just say it's not a bad foundation, but there are definitely a lot of better ones out there that I would recommend before this one. I'm going to interject here real quick, because I'm a glutton for punishment. So, on a whim, today, it's been like a full week since I filmed that other video, but it annoyed me that all of the makeup girlies on TikTok, like, it looked so good for them, and on me, it did not look as good. So, I've applied it with my hand onto this cheek. This cheek and the side of my nose. You can, there's in the sun. So I applied one pump to this cheek and like the side of my nose here compared to this side. This cheek isn't usually this red, but it is today. Don't ask me why. Yeah. So I applied it with my hand. I just put a pump on and rubbed her in. I was too lazy to do the whole face, to be honest with you. So I just did this cheek and the side of my nose. And I just want to cover all my bases, because the girls on TikTok were either using it with a brush, which I've already tried, or just with their hands. So just to cover all my bases And to make this as thorough as possible, I have applied it with my hand. It is just after 10 o'clock in the morning, and I don't want to make this long, but I'll I'll just add a quick clip in of later today, and future me will tell us whether or not this garners a better result. See you then. All right. It is 6:46 p.m. So this has been on my cheek and the side of my nose for at least 8 hours. And this is how it's looking. You know, I gotta say, you know, I didn't want it to be true. But it does actually look better over time after being applied with your fingers or your hands, at least on this one cheek. There is one particular patch. I don't know if the camera will be able to pick it up. There you go. There's one particular patch of dry skin right here that's really being emphasized right here. But I feel like any foundation would do that. And it's just that one spot. It's not like my entire face is a crusty mess. So it's still really not my favorite. I lost coverage pretty quick. The coverage is a lot lighter when rubbed in with your fingers. It is definitely a light coverage as opposed to like a light medium coverage that I achieved when it was applied with a brush or a sponge. So it definitely is a lighter coverage, but you can still see it. Most notably on my nose here. No makeup. It has all rubbed off right here. So it definitely, it doesn't claim to be. It's definitely not a long wearing foundation, so I can't be mad at that. I do personally prefer a long wearing foundation. Do you hear the siren? My dog's gonna howl. He's right over there. Are you good, bro? Apparently not. All finished? You good? You're welcome. Anyway, that's it. I wanted to give it a shot. I do prefer more long-wearing foundation, something that adheres better to my skin, because this, I feel like, it doesn't adhere that well to your skin. For whatever reason. Probably just the formula. It's a very hydrating formula, and it can be difficult to create a long-wearing and well-adhering formula that's super hydrating. For what it's worth, there you go. Now I've covered all my bases. And broken your eardrums with my dog. Yeah, that's pretty much all I can say. It's not a bad foundation. I've definitely tried worse, but I've also definitely tried better. So, for what it's worth, there you have it. There is my wear test and review of the Covergirl Simply Ageless Skin Perfector Essence. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please do consider giving it a big old thumbs up and subscribing to my channel. It would really help me out, and I'll see you in the next one. my puppy. Go lie down, please. Go on. Good boy. In different lighting, where, you know, things are reflecting at different angles than this one, and you know, the I'm getting way too technical about this. What I'm trying to say is